Hi everyone. I know I got a very difficult spot now just before the lunch and we're running delayed. Um First of all, thanks to the previous presenter who just set up the context on enterprise needs, problems, and so. So this session, I'll keep it very simple in terms of what we are actually seeing, doing with multiple clients on the DevSecOps, and what do we mean by the platform approach, and why we feel it is going to make it when we are scaling up DevSecOps for the companies. So these are some of the questions just to keep you a point of view on what are we seeing, the questions coming up for the problems. So you would be hearing, how do I secure the code on cloud? How do I get into a cloud DevOps pipelines? How do I improve my developer productivity? How do I use the emerging technologies? So there are various topics running in our minds, and the list will be growing on. And every month you can see there is a lot of things coming up in open source as well. So what we are seeing is that there is no stoppage, like everybody is saying, and right from Mark to Krishna to even Dr. Tapabrata, there is no stop there. So definitely you should be pondering on a thought that how do I keep myself in the guardrails? What I meant is, these all questions will be there as per your roles, but how do I keep a control that I don't go out of the way while implementing DevOps? So that is the main motive of my discussion today, that whatever you're hearing, there are multiple vendors, there are multiple frameworks, there are multiple theories on DevOps, but this is one of my view here, that what are you now trying to solve? So basically, DevOps is trying to increase your appetite. It's trying to increase your appetite for constant technical change. It is about the retention of the org culture as well. When you are trying to do people process technology, so what is happening is actually your culture is always revolving. So if we are able to implement DevOps in a right way, then you are able to get a sense of where the culture is moving towards, what you need to control. And we are of the view that a platform approach will help to make sure there is some sort of governance around that. So even if there are some 100+ application teams, there are maybe more than that, various technologies working on, we will have a one platform approach which can keep a guardrail on those. Even if you use a lean or agile or safe agile, any other frameworks, you would be needing a platform approach where it will keep you guarded against the disruptive technologies. And that is how we are envisaging here. And how do we scale this? So what does it take to scale up? And I have marked those words in red color a little bit just to keep a view on what are the main tenets here. So definitely you need the right tooling there. And right tooling, it is not about one vendor product. It is a mix of the open source tools, partner products, your own IP, your own generation of the tools and platforms, and the pipelines, your dashboards. Second is about culture and mindset, which is actually related also how your tools are designed. Third one is about the partners. We are very open to partners, and ourselves, we as Infosys also. So we have actually open sourced the platform. We are one of the very few vendors which have open sourced the platform itself, and 80% of the code is out online. So that is how we have been open and working with other partners also. And I'll have a slide later to show which are the partners we are working, and that's a partial list. So we believe in that open collaboration. And the fourth one is very tricky and challenging for all of us, is that how do I maintain this globally distributed team, and what the talent is required. And apart from technical skills, it has a lot of need on the collaboration skills. So DevOps has become actually a technical collaboration challenge. There are more than tools than the other parts. So solutions are many, but there is a right talent need there. This is a very time box view on this, but just have a look. So this is what the areas you are trying to solve. You are not only looking at planning, you are looking at the actual build, you are looking at the run portion, you're looking at security, you're looking at cloud and infra management. So there is no one box here. So why it is getting more complex, if you go and ask and try to feel that why it has become more challenging. Why DevOps? We can talk about Dev and Ops together. That is one of the way to define. But actually in the background, what every day we see is that these are the functions, these are the processes you're trying to automate. You're trying to balance that through tools. These are the areas where you will be needing all automation tools. And at the top, you can see there is an intelligent automation layer. So that is how even Mark mentioned, there will be a continuous autonomous validation. So there, and that time will come where we'll be having a verification and validation through systems. But as of now, the biggest challenge is how do you keep a balanced approach of tool sprawl and how do I build the platform? That is the biggest challenge. And that is how I want to show the view on, our view on what is the platform approach. So you can see at the center, there has to be a DevOps platform. And we are not saying it is one given platform only, but any company, any organization we are working on. So you can see there are mix of Azure DevOps, open source tool, but at the heart, at the center, you need a DevOps platform. Any company which is trying to scale DevOps, it has to have a central core layer, and that preferably should be built by themselves. So that is how we feel. And DevOps platform can be of various like integrations. You can have integration on planning, integration, the security, the infrastructure, and these are, by the way, very complex challenges. These are, and one of integrations are itself complex. So we're not talking about a pipeline here. We are talking about how the business needs, the epics can be translated, and how a digital transformation program can run, and how a DevOps platform can be center of it to go and support this transformation. And it is, believe me, it is very, very complex. It is not about taking care of 10 web applications and something else. It is about mix of web, legacy, mainframes, enterprise apps, and there is no one product for this. And that is how we have been working with 100 plus teams, and those are implementing various stacks. So it is not about one application team here. It is much more complex, and you need to have a full collaboration view of all these teams. And you can understand agile coach trying to run a sprint with a team, and you're trying to run 100 plus teams. So you can understand the massive scale needed here. So this is our view on how we feel a DevOps platform can be at the center. So it has to have links with all of these phases, and you may be working on one of the teams here. So what do we see as challenges? We tried for a platform approach. If we go and build platform for one, what are the challenges? So challenges are, first of all, disparate workflows. Every team will want to be preferring or be comfortable with a given tool. And there are many favorites. We all know the names of that. But what do I do? Is it justified? I allow all the teams to have their own workflows? We feel it is not. It has to be 80-20, where 80% of the teams have to be aligning to a set of workflows only. And these workflows can translate to the defined pipelines. Then about the fragmented tool set. There are a lot of tool chain sprawl going to happen because a tool is just a step away for you. You can just install and start using it. But as an enterprise, would you like to do that? Would you like to go and install a tool and not worry about what is the impact going to be? Is there a benefit of using it long term? What happens if the tool is off suddenly? Third one on visibility, the metrics part. Many teams, many projects where we work is they do not understand or they do not want to agree upfront that what are they trying to improve. Is it only a velocity problem, or is it a bigger problem of that they may not have their own branching strategy worked out? And branching strategy is like a 20-year back question also. Still we are grappling with that. And I feel actually 50% of the teams do not have defined branching strategies and what works for them better. So it is those basic questions we are grappling with. But we have to have metrics in place. We have to have those core metrics agreed. And if you want to agree on an enterprise level, you can imagine what is the kind of challenge going to happen. Fourth one, which is a very easy to understand, is repeat task. So a lot of these DevOps automation tools, these are trying to automate the repeat task. Now, it doesn't end with just going and orchestrating the repeat task. It also means, are we able to learn from those mistakes? Are we able to put learning robotic system in place? Can we go and learn and understand if SAP workflow, if it is working well, why not Pega workflow is working well? So those type of repeat task analysis is required, and a platform team is going to help in that. So, and at the center, you can see it's all about collaboration. So we feel that scaling DevOps automation is about a clear platform approach where you must have a simplified set of workflows together. You must be helping your developers to get de-skilled. A developer should not be writing a script to automate their DevOps workflow. And that's how I agree in the keynote session also, that developers should be only writing code and writing their test and just own the code. But are we in that situation? No. What we feel is developers are spending from 20 to 30% of their time in making sure their DevOps pipelines are okay, they're able to adhere to the testing guidelines. Are we automated enough? Do we have a open source versus vendor product balance? Lot of teams are not able to crack it. Are they able to use the open source tools very well? It may sound like a utility, but it may not be solving your real problem. So that is how we see that platform approach works better. It is as a service can be offered to the whole organization, and it can go across the build, test, compliance verification, collaboration, and operations. It can keep on adding. But if we make an attempt at an enterprise platform approach, then we are able to extend it. The platform has to be extensible. It has to be going and talking to various stacks of the tools. And it has to have various modules. It is not about a pipeline management tool. It is about how do you orchestrate, make it extensible that new developers can onboard, new applications can onboard. You can work across legacy, custom, packages. You can have dashboards, insights. You can have the infrastructure environment management automation. So the view what you see here, it is not about only planning, developing, and testing. What we have encoded is the governance around it also. As a company, we are able to enforce some policies where on build checkouts, testing and all. So we are able to see a lot of benefit there by putting these controls in place, because our organizations are having around 2,500 projects, and our goal is to go implement everywhere. And we have been fairly successful in going and implementing. But what we realized is it is driven by a lot of developers' comfort, a lot of customer needs. So that is why we go and work with customers also. We are trying to co-create a platform approach. And it is fairly successful if we are able to agree on common workflows. And you can see there are some 25 plus technologies which are listed here. Some are more in progress. So we are able to integrate across packages, across web, across the mainframe systems, and there is no one vendor in place. So we feel that we cannot have lock-in with one of the partner, one of the tools, because that's how the problems are to be solved. So that is our view, and we are working across cloud providers. So, and we have seen benefits across even the tool supported also. You can see the tools listed here, right from planning to analysis to testing coverage. And these are some of the tools. And it is 70 plus tools, but we are tracking around 172 tools. So that is how the scale of DevOps is. So I want to point out again that it is going to be extremely confusing as we go forward. So we must be working on which are the tools which work for a given group, a given project. But on top of that, if we are not able to govern through a platform approach, it is not going to be successful. It may be going and working for 2 teams or 3 teams, but if you want to scale up more than 15 to 20 teams, then you must need a platform approach. And for that, we need a lot of buy-in from the senior leadership also and the teams itself. So more to come on this. I want to also point out on dashboard and insights. There has to be a persona-based dashboard and insights. There has to be real-time insights which can show the planning, the business owners of the applications, What are the stories coming in place? It has to show the DevOps dashboard about the code, build, test, operations. It has to show the operations view, and that is how in the recent DevOps report also, you can see there is a continuous operations and availability portion is highlighted more. So we are integrated with that thought, that how do I bring back the learnings from live infrastructure and can I create insights? So these are the examples. We have dashboards, we have on application owners, engineers, scrum masters, ops managers, and we have recently built even the AI-based anomaly detections, plus the infrastructure metrics, plus the application insights. So it is a approach where you must have a visualization layer at the top, where you must be working on with the teams together. And these dashboards are triggered across applications, but it has to be overarching for the platform portfolios also. So it is extremely complex here, but it is achievable. And our learnings are that platform approach comes from some of the best practice teams. You have to pick up some of those teams which are working well, and you have to be open to integrate across. So if you feel that there is a type of Azure DevOps going to work better, you may do it. But in case you have some more open source tools, those plugins may not be available. So what we have seen is many integrations, those plugins are not at all available. So we had to build custom. So that's one of the example where platform approach works, and there has to be investment on that. If you want to sustain DevOps, if you want to go and sustain the pipelines, because these pipelines have to be versioned, these pipelines have to be working across those tools. And as we speak, there's a lot of focus on application security, network security, and there is a whole lot of container security and monitoring things going on. So it is complex, and if we build a platform approach, we can extend those workflows there, and we have a visibility still on the security portions also. And we have achieved on web applications. We are now working on some of the enterprise apps for the security monitoring as well. So there is a big need of this, and AI-based insights are available. The challenges come where we are not able to define those use cases very well upfront. So we have to be working iteratively with the developer teams. So those are DevOps insights. There are a lot of products in market which can claim that there are AI-based insights available already and it can be consumed. But we have seen very few which talks more than the dashboard, which comes up the insights level, very few on it, and we can stand by it. Okay. I want to show you one of the message here that the platform approach, it is about the self-service model. So the self-service model, there is a decision to be made by the company where the self-service model is allowed or not. So many companies are not comfortable to provide self-service model to the developers. So that is a question we need to answer, whether an organization is ready to go and allow self-service for those teams. So that is a basic decision to be made, and after that there are solutions available, and we have also open sourced our platform. So the basic the decision to be made is that can you allow multiple project teams to get into self-service model for DevOps. So that is the deal breaker here, that self-service model is allowable or not. And the next part is, are you able to integrate across technology stacks? Or is it that you need a one tool for web technologies and you need another one for a SAP or a Pega or a Informatica? So that decision we feel is a difficult one for the teams to be doing there. So after that, the journey is comfortable. So that is the initial hiccups we got, and we want to share about this. Okay. I am coming to the end of my session here. I want to keep a tab on the time. So any questions you have, anything you want to ask, or I can have some questions also. And I just hurried up on some of the topics because of there is a time lag. Actually, this is a 45-minute session. Yeah. You can give the mic.
DevSecOps journey. In the DevSecOps journey, for security, what do you suggest? Having a security team member part of the DevOps team, or a developer groomed for, or all the developers groomed for security?
So I have my team. One of the session is on specific on this for collaboration in security. Wasim and Mitul Gupta are going to talk. And we have shown two models there. Of course, the best potential will be the developer groomed themselves only, learning the security tools and trying to work. But where it comes for the enterprise governance through a security cell and there are other teams, so that person cannot become part of the full-time team. So, and we feel outside in person coming up and trying to do one check for 2 hours is not enough. So it has to be a full-time, and given the relevance of DevSecOps, it has become very core. And also it depends on the market forces and other dynamics. I don't want to answer there. But the best potential is the developer. So you can think that the job description of the full stack engineer is now expanding. So you will see one of the bullet entering on security also, apart from the development, monitoring, cloud and all, there are some 4 or 5 there. So we have to be ready for that.
So as time is pressing, we request you to kindly ask few questions as we have goodies.
So in my slides, what are the key challenges I highlighted on the platform approach? One more. The tooling part? Okay, sure. Yeah, you can. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so this is for you, for the lady.
Please, sir. These are from Infosys as well.
Okay, so another question, we have another goodie.
In my slide, how many tools we had shown? What is that number which is supported? Okay, so yeah, it's fine. He gave the first answer.
Please
so
join
I'll
us
go
on
well.
stage and collect your proud goodie.
You have one more?
Very hearty congratulations. Let's give it up. And now we request Dr. Sharmila C. to join us on stage to hand over the certificate to the gentleman, please. Let's give it up, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, sir, for enriching on all towards this. Thank you.